Welcome to the tutorial on how to create an invoice from a purchase order for COSTCO US using EDI Gateway's web EDI portal Webgate Plus. First, log into webgate.edigateway.net by using Internet Explorer. Enter your username and password assigned to you by our customer service department. Or if you are already using the application, use your current username and password. Then enter the security code as seen on the screen. Let's create an invoice from a purchase order. Click on Documents to access the inbox. Select your purchase order, right-click on the mouse, and select Create Invoice from the menu. The Invoice module has a header, details, summary, and tax section. Because taxes are not required for U.S. retailers, we do not need to address this section. We will start with the header. The date field will automatically populate with the current date. You can edit this field and choose the date you wish to invoice for. Please note that you cannot send your invoice with a future date. It will be rejected. Enter your invoice number. You can edit the terms section of the header at any time. Click on the next arrow at the bottom of the screen or the Detail button at the top of the screen to access the Detail section of the invoice. Once you are in the Detail section of the invoice, verify that your quantities and prices are accurate. You can make changes to the quantity and prices by double-clicking in the cell. Note you cannot invoice items for COSTCO US that are not on the PO. If your purchase order includes allowances and/or charges, when you create your invoice, a button with a plus sign will be visible. Clicking on this button will expand the field, and clicking again will collapse it. You can edit or remove the allowance or charge by clicking in the field and right-clicking on the mouse. I can edit the allowance. I'm going to change the $43.18 to $45. Click OK. My allowance has been changed to $45. I'm now going to remove this allowance by clicking on the Remove Allowance / Charge. OK, it has been removed. If you wish to remove all the allowances and charges, simply press the Remove All button at the top right corner of the screen. So you have now removed all the allowances or charges assigned to each item. If you need to add an allowance or a charge to an item, click on the item, right-click on your mouse and select Add Allowance or Charge. A window will appear. Select the indicator. For example, I want a charge. Enter the amount. Click OK. A charge has now been assigned to the item. You are now ready to save your invoice. You can either save the invoice or save as a draft. Saving as a draft will prevent the invoice from being sent out. Only documents with a status of valid will be sent. In this case, I've saved as a draft so that we can go back, edit the draft, and save as valid. Regardless if a document is saved as valid or draft, they will be saved to the outbox. To send your documents, go to the outbox. In this case, we cannot send it because the status is a draft. Right-click on your item, select Edit from the menu, Save. You now have a valid invoice in your outbox. You can select your document and click Send to send your invoice. You can say Send Valid up in the corner. If you have numerous invoices to send that are valid at one time, you can just say Send Valid. It will send all the valid invoices. In this case, we'll just right-click and send. Once you send the invoice, you will find it in the Sent box. The status of the invoice will update 3 times. The first will be in queue. Our system has not sent it yet. We release documents every 4 minutes. The second status will be sent. It has been sent to COSTCO US, but not acknowledged yet. And finally, a third status, Acknowledged. This means that COSTCO US has received the document. The time and date of the acknowledgement will be indicated. Check for your acknowledgements. Always ensure that you have received an acknowledgement for your transaction by monitoring the status 24 hours after sending your documents. Should your invoice reject, you will receive an 824 document in your inbox. Congratulations! You have completed your invoice for COSTCO US. Here's how to reach us. And from all of us at EDI Gateway, thank you for watching.